What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what the creator and editor of Football Outsiders had to say about the Detroit Lions and Matthew Stafford. Let's get it started. Welcome in, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here, and today we are discussing something very interesting about the Detroit Lions. But before we get it started, as you guys can tell, there is no green screen. There's no green screen here, and there usually is a green screen. And if you guys did catch my last video where I talked about Jamal Adams, I told you guys to put in the comment section below what you guys think I should put as my background. So for this video, I thought I'd just show you. So as some of you guys may know my last video, I will give you guys a tour. I'm no longer at the house I was at before, okay? I'll just make it simple like that. But not everything is finished yet, so we don't have the internet connection or everything like that, so I'm kind of back and forth. That's why I missed the Tigers game today, because I wasn't able to set everything up. So things are still going to be kind of back and forth, still trying to get everything figured out. But I do want to set up this background. Now, I have a couple of ideas. I have like cubes, and I can put some decorations in there, but I just need some stuff that you guys want me to put in the background. I guess this is kind of how Tom Grassi does this stuff. I didn't even notice. Now that I'm looking at it, oh snap, I see you. Okay, stop. But just let me know, man. If you guys want a Mario poster, I don't care. What do you think would look cool back there? So far, this is what I have. I also have a Michigan shirt I'm planning on maybe hanging up, putting in a box or something. I don't know. Let me know. Now let's talk about today's video. So, if you guys don't know what Football Outsiders is, it's kind of like Pro Football Focus. Not exactly, but it's the same kind of idea, I would say, because it uses advanced stats, advanced metrics, things like broken tackles, DVOA, that kind of thing, efficiency. It uses all of those to make projections. And the creator/editor of Football Outsiders talked about a lot of NFL teams. Now, I guess he has a really good track record of predicting things correctly. I guess he predicted that the Bears would not make the playoffs last year after coming off of winning the division. He also predicted that the Patriots and Rams would play in the Super Bowl, and he predicted that the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl last year. So I guess he has a pretty good track record, and this year he predicts it will be the Saints and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, with the Saints winning the Super Bowl. That is his prediction. So bold prediction there. Now, he had to talk about the Detroit Lions a little bit, because otherwise I wouldn't be bringing you guys this video today. We'll talk about what he said about the Detroit Lions. That was kind of a short spurt. I'll throw in the clip of what he had to say about the Detroit Lions. It was kind of short, but I do think it was interesting, because if this guy is very accurate, which it seems like he is, then maybe we may have some legitimate hope here. Now, it's not just me saying things and you guys just think I'm crazy. We are having a lot of guys start to back this up. We've been seeing a lot of things about people like, oh, don't sleep on the Lions this year, don't sleep on Stafford. And all of a sudden, the creator of Football Outsiders had some good things to say. So he mainly focused on Matthew Stafford, and that kind of segued into his Detroit Lions talk. So what he had to say about Matthew Stafford was this. They asked him who he thought would be the MVP this year. They basically said their two for the top are pretty much Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, but who would be that dark horse, the guy that we're really not talking about, that could win the MVP this year? By the way, he didn't say those two people. I think I guess the host of the show basically said that. And he said his dark horse for the 2020 NFL season to win the MVP was, of course, Matthew Stafford. He thinks Matthew Stafford could be the guy to win the MVP in 2020, which is beautiful, because I'm not crazy now for saying it.
My dark horse candidate for MVP is Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions.
So if you guys did watch my NFC North preview, Bison, Bass, Oshmo, if you guys watched that where I did the NFC North preview, then you guys will know in that video, my bold prediction is that Matthew Stafford could win the MVP this season.
The way that he wins an MVP award would be him leading the Lions to a playoff win.
And my reasoning behind that was pretty simple. If the Detroit Lions are successful and Matthew Stafford plays anywhere near the level he did last year, he's clearly going to get the MVP. Because I look at it like this. Matthew Stafford was already playing at an MVP level, but MVPs a lot of times are about storylines, or about headlines, or what the people want to hear. For the NBA, for example, it's not always the best player. It's what the best story is that season, usually. And for this case, Matthew Stafford winning a playoff game with the Detroit Lions, or even further than that, would be a great story for the NFL, because the Lions have not been historically successful. And if Matthew Stafford is that guy that can make them successful in the playoffs, not only will Detroit love him, but the NFL will see something completely different. Something that the NFL hasn't seen in a long time. Like, they've seen a couple playoff appearances here from us, but they haven't seen us take the league by storm and win a playoff game, make a run in the playoffs. That's something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Heck, we've never been to a Super Bowl. So if he could take us there, clearly he'd win it. So that's my reasoning. I mean, my thought is this. If the Browns made the playoffs, then I feel like there's a good chance Baker Mayfield would probably win the MVP, because he led the Browns there, which is just not something expected. So he doesn't have to be the best player. He just needs to lead his team there, because it's not something that you're expecting. That, my friends, would be a great storyline. I think that'd be a beautiful headline, and that's why I think he could win the MVP as well. He said this about Matthew Stafford. He said he was the fourth most efficient quarterback according to their stats last season when he was healthy. Fourth most efficient. That's pretty good. I talked about how Matthew Stafford was more efficient than ever last season, and that's why he put up those great numbers. And then that kind of just, like I said, segued him into talking about a little bit more about the Detroit Lions, saying their defense will be better. He believes the Lions defense will be better, which I would say is probably not a bold prediction. I mean, let's be honest here. All right, it can't get much worse. So, I mean, it kind of has to get better. But he did say they will get better, so that is something. And I'm kind of with him, right? It doesn't have to be great, it just has to be average. And with our offense last season, this team can be successful. Talking about successful, he says the Detroit Lions could be competing for a playoff spot next season. Okay, I see you, but we're going to make the playoffs. Don't just say competing. We're making the playoffs. 7 teams are getting in this season, all right? It's not too impossible to make the playoffs. Apparently, the Steelers, if there was 7 teams getting into the playoffs with their third-string quarterback, would have made the playoffs. I mean, just think about that for a second. Matthew Stafford can take us to the playoffs with 7 teams getting in. So I definitely think we can be a playoff team. And again, there you go. That automatically will raise the odds of Matthew Stafford winning MVP because think about it, the only year Matthew Stafford was voted in the Pro Bowl, this is why the Pro Bowl is trash, it's not his best year. It's the year the Lions were the best. That is 2014. Just think about it. It's all about success, team success, okay? It's really what it does come down to, and that's how you get recognized. If your team's not successful, it's hard to get recognized. Think about Devin Booker in the NBA. How hard is it for Devin Booker to get recognized? Well, you play for the Suns. No one's talking about you, right? Think about the Timberwolves. No one talks about the Timberwolves players. That's why it is about team success, even though we say it's not, it is. It's an individual stat, but it has to do with team success as well. Now, he does say that he thinks that the Packers and Vikings are down. They're going to go down in the division. That's what he thinks about the Packers and the Vikings, which I like that. I definitely think the Packers are going down. I just don't see it. I don't see the Packers going 13-3. I don't know if the Packers make the playoffs. Now, the Vikings, I'm a little bit more concerned with. I still feel like they're pretty much balanced, and if Cook is back, that team's going to be tough. But I just don't see with the Packers. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. I really don't see it. But we'll see I guess we'll see at the end of the year. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I really don't. So I think those 2 teams are down as well. If that is the case, if those 2 teams are down with pretty much what a lot of people think the Bears will be, which is kind of similar to last year, then you definitely should be competing for a playoff spot.
Detroit could compete for a playoff spot.
Even potentially the division. I think we definitely can. We have the tools to do it. We are very well built. He really focused on depth, and he must like the Detroit Lions' depth as well, because if he likes the Lions, then he must like their depth, because he says he focuses on that a ton, and that's why he could see the 49ers maybe take a little bit of a step back next season. That is one team that he thinks could take a step back next season. So I like it. I like what he's saying. I mean, he seems to be saying some really cool stuff that, yeah, seems to make sense. I can pretty much get on board with. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what happens during the season, but this is just another guy that believes in number 9 and the Detroit Lions. It's just a little story I just wanted to talk about because it's something that someone sent me on Instagram. I think it was Believe the Hype. If it wasn't Believe the Hype, I'm sorry if you sent it to me and you weren't Believe the Hype. I think that's who this was. And he sent me this post on Kerryon Johnson's story. Now, as we know, Kerryon Johnson has a lot of competition for the 2020 NFL season for the starting role with the addition of second-round pick DeAndre Swift. Looked at as the best running back by a lot of people in this draft. He's definitely going to come in and compete for that starting role. And as we know, we've seen a lot of videos, players working out this offseason, right? Tracy Walker a ton. I mean, you could pretty much name Matthew Stafford, Quintez Cephas, Big Cheese, Christian Jones. Don't know why it's Big Cheese, but Christian Jones. We've seen workouts from a lot of players. And I know Kerryon Johnson is putting in work because I think Kerryon Johnson is going to shock people and really take the running back field by storm. And it's going to be like, oh, okay, good. That's Kerryon. I didn't know he was about that life. Yeah, Kerryon is going to surprise some people next season. And, you know, some people don't see him putting out these workout videos, so a lot of people just don't think that he's working out. I don't know how you could think that. Like, seriously, I think some of y'all might be joking, but seriously, we know this dude's working out, right? He's an NFL player, right? He's working out. Right? Are we serious? We really don't think Kerryon's putting in work? Well, someone asked him on, I guess, his story and said, hey, Kerryon, why do you never post these workout videos? Because we want to see you work out. You know, us fans like to see it because there is nothing else this offseason. You might as well see it. So we love to see you do some workouts. And all of a sudden, Kerryon responds with this. Because I'm working out. Oh my gosh, bro. Yo, he laid the hammer, man. Because I'm working out. He said, how am I going to upload a workout video if I'm working out? Okay, well, I mean, you definitely can. Someone else could do it. He could just sit down and record it. But I just thought that was a funny answer because it's kind of Kerryon, I think, joking about it a little bit. That, yes, I'm clearly working out. I'm just not recording it. And that was my thought. Like, Kerryon can be working out. He also said this earlier this offseason on Twitter when someone said this because someone said, you know, DeAndre Swift is coming for his job, putting in work, and Kerryon's just sitting here on the beach. And Kerryon's like, it's physically possible to work out without recording it. And I love that, man. I love that. So I know Kerryon's putting in work. I think Kerryon's going to surprise a lot of people. Kerryon, I feel like Kerryon's going to come next season kind of mad. I don't know. Hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully that fuels that fire because I feel like Kerryon's kind of a quiet guy. And, man, you might wake up beast. We might poke that beast. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Maybe that's a good thing. That would be awesome. I think Kerryon's going to shock these people. Kerryon, I'm on your side, man. The Kerryon Johnson resurgence is live. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you, Prep, for watching. I love being able to do this. And I'm out.